session. So we'll start with some basic understanding of what a marathon distance is. A marathon is about 42.195 kilometers. And then when we talk about ultra marathon, only crazy people do. In this room, we have two of this, which is a distance which is above 50 kilometers. And then it can be a long run. It can be as long as a 100-mile race or multiple hours of running, 24 hours, 12 hours, and 48 hours. And it can be like a ultra where the longest distance to cover is 555 kilometers. Okay. Now, if you really look at some of the races, terrain-wise, a marathon is run on the road pretty much. Ultra races are usually held in mountains or mountain terrains or even trails where there are no roads. And sometimes even some of these adventure races where the ultra marathon happens, where you'll also have to swim in between, cross mountains, walk, hike, all those things are possible. So these are some of the popular world major marathons. In India, Tara Mumbai Marathon is quite a popular one, largest number of runners. But also if you look at ultra marathon races, UTMB is really popular in Europe. We have France, Italy, Switzerland. Western States is a 100-mile race in California. Badwater is really happens at scorching heat with 50 degrees centigrade. Your shoes can melt. You know, that's kind of temperature. Comrades Marathon happens in South Africa. I can take the pride and say that I've done this 2 times. I've finished. It's a 90-kilometer ultra marathon. Not about me. Let's focus about and then Spartathlon is Greece, about 250 kilometers of race. It's crazy. Of course, I'm the race director of Ooty Ultra, which happens in Ooty, 90 kilometers longest distance, La Ultra. All right, so let's quickly understand the marathon, ultra marathon demands. I know all of your athletes, before you jump into sports, you need to really understand what it takes to become an athlete. Slightly complicated. Expecting an ultra marathon runner to speak about ultra marathon in 3 minutes is going to be complicated. I'll try to do some justice. We'll come to these red arrows a little later. You can see how complicated the event, even preparation for that. Let's start with the athlete's backgrounds, very important. Genetic makeup plays a big role, but believe it or not, a lot of athletes in India are growing. Recreational athletes, you can actually rediscover. You can find the athlete in you through proper training. That's why the sports science helps us. And then mind and attitude plays a very, very key role. Of course, it's true for every single sport that we talk about, but ultra marathons are long, so mind and attitude plays a big role. Training, nutrition, and then gear in terms of what shoes that you wear, what apparel that you wear, all those things matter. Not the fancy products we are talking about, we're talking about essential gear. And then of course, race-specific preparation is really important. If you want to be a mountain ultra runner, you have to be training in mountains. You can't train in flatland and expect you to perform in the mountain races. And then of course we have a lot of race day factors. So these are all athlete and training factors on the left side. The race day factors, it could be distance, the running condition, the terrain, the altitude, the weather condition, could be rain, it could be anything. Injury, fueling is, this is the only sport I like because you can eat a masala dosa and continue to run. Okay, so that's really amazing. Racing, pacing strategy is important, and the last one is really important, mental and psychological. The reason why I've highlighted some things in red is these are very specific to ultra running, which are long, arduous, tough, which demands physical and mental capacity. Can you go quick? All right, preparation, progression. Let's quickly see solid foundation is important, cardiovascular training, strength and conditioning, and we talked about a lot of zone-specific training that is really important. Let's quickly see. And the most important thing is awareness. You really need to know what you're getting into, right? And then mental toughness is really important. A lot of visualization techniques are important. Race-specific training and conditioning is really important. And of course, meditation, mindfulness, calming down is really important. I think am I crossing my net? All right, let's quickly go through. Let's quickly go. I think we have seen that first slide. Let's go to the last slide, please. So the most important thing is you need to believe that you can cover those distances. And then the goals need to be really important because training for a marathon is a multi-year project. I've seen a lot of runners rushing into things. I'll do a 10K, I'll do a half marathon, I'll do a full marathon, I'll do ultra marathon. Then they come to Ortho-One. Okay? With that, anyway, it's a good thing. We have sports medicine experts who will put them back on track. But if you're a mindful runner, you can always trained properly, it's a lifelong journey, and then you can be really a good runner here. Thank you for the opportunity.